scared. That's what they were. Running around Hollywood Hills and Tinseltown and scared because of the Omicron, the Wuhan, all kind of variants. There was a Megatron and a Goditron and everything else going around. So they said, no, we're not going to tell the people what the best movies of the year were because we're all scared. We're going to stay locked in our basements. Sounds like they were running a presidential campaign, huh? But not here. We're not scared. And that's why tonight you'll find out what the true best movies of 2021 were. Now, cinematic class is about to begin. Your professor is in. Greetings, salutations, and other sundry affair. I am your cinematic professor and purveyor of truth in movies. And, let me expound just a little bit on my teaser intro. You've probably already seen that many of the typical end-of-the-year award shows have been postponed. Some were even canceled. Now, we're not going to get into the Golden Globes because that whole organization has been nothing but a compilation of Freylocks from the get-go, and I have ranted about them enough on previous episodes. But take, for example, the Critics' Choice Association and their awards. I am a charter member of that group back when it was the Broadcast Film Critics Association, and we were supposed to give out our awards on January 9th. It would have been a great intro into the Oscars. Everything got canceled. Everyone was afraid to go outside and breathe air and what have you. So as we are taping this show, the award show is tentatively set for, I believe, March the 13th. And you'll be able to catch it on the CW. Of course, a lot of people who had planned to go to the show now won't be there because of the change of date and travel arrangements and what have you. But that's just some of the chaos that all of this has caused. But it doesn't slow us down here on Outtakes with Rex Reel. We have traditionally done the best of awards, usually at the end of January, beginning of February. So we're sticking to our schedule. Virus or no virus, cold weather or no cold weather. And I have for you now the best movies. Now, let me explain how I put this out for you a little bit. I break them down into categories, all right? I'm not going to go into best actor and actress supporting and all that kind of stuff. That's, those are cute little awards and they're individual awards. What I'm going to give you are the movies that came out in 2021 that are worth every penny of you placing down your hard-earned entertainment dollar. That has been the modus operandi of this program since I began it all the way back in 1988. With these movies, you will not regret having paid for the cost of admission or streaming or what have you nowadays. So let's break this all down, and there are going to be a lot of people who say, 2021 was not a good year for movies because so many were postponed because of the restrictions of the virus. No, there were a lot of movies that were put out in 2021. In fact, some of the restrictions that were placed on studios because of the fear of the virus actually caused a lot of independent movies to come under the spotlight, and some of them were certainly worthwhile. Let's get started, shall we? Let's talk about dramas. Now, that's a genre that's usually not high on my list, but I think it has some of the most numerous movies for the year in there. And let's Belfast is top of the list here. This is really a good movie. It's getting a lot of attention from the Oscars and the different organizations, Screen Actors Guild and what have you. And it's worth it. Kenneth Branagh has done a really good job putting this movie together, and it is shot exceptionally well. It's very pleasing to look at, even though the majority of it is in black and white. You can't go wrong with it. Early in the year, there were some really good movies that came out, and they were largely ignored because nobody really expected Hollywood to be shut down as much as it was in 2021. Land with Robin Wright, that was, I believe, her directorial debut, and boy, she did a good job on this one. Now, dramas, a female lead movies, you would think, well, geez, Professor, it had 2 strikes. No, this was good. It was a lot of fun to watch and very emotional. I like this movie an awful lot. Back in the beginning of the year, there was a movie that came out. Gary Oldman was in this, and Armie Hammer, and it was called Crisis. Excellent movie. I think the reason it was downplayed a lot is because it had a subplot of going against Big Pharma. And if you think back to, the February-March era of 2021, Big Pharma was being kind of elevated to almost godlike status, and you couldn't talk about them. This movie was really good. After this movie was released, the press hounds, if you will, of Hollywood went after Armie Hammer pretty good, and his career pretty much is in the tank. But he's good in this movie, and Gary Oldman is good in this as well. The next movie is called The Little Things. Now, you're going to say that, well, Professor, that was included under 2020. I run into this problem a lot because a lot of the times, movies that are considered for the Oscars aren't released and opened here in Pittsburgh until after the new year. Okay, so I really couldn't count The Little Things for last year where it belonged, simply because it hadn't opened up in Pittsburgh yet, and I hadn't seen it. I did get a chance to watch it. It was probably the 3rd week of January, 4th week of January, and it's good. Of course, Denzel Washington's in this, Jared Leto. It's a good, solid little thriller. We are going to count it under 21 because it didn't open in the Burgh until midway through the first quarter. So it's a good little flick, and I think you'll enjoy it. The Courier was also an excellent film, and the main star on this was Benedict Cumberbatch. Now, he's being heralded for awards by the sophisticated organizations for Power of the Dog. Power of the Dog was terrible, all right? It was an absolutely horrible movie. And if you want to see Benedict Cumberbatch at his best, The Courier is the movie you want to watch. You will enjoy it from beginning to end. It's one of those British movies. And stuck in there, too, is a movie called Georgetown with Christoph. Actually, this has a pretty big ensemble cast in it, but Christoph Waltz is his character is really kind of you like those caddish characters, and it's based on historical stuff, so it's kind of an interesting figure in this. So there are your dramas best, and now, courtesy of David's nimble hands, here is a little montage of the best dramas of 2021.
Mama says if we went across the water, they wouldn't understand the way we talk.
If they can't understand you, then they're not listening. You know who you are, don't you? You're Buddy from Belfast, where everybody knows you.
Hey, Buddy! Your mom's calling you. Yes!
We're looking to cleanse the community a wee bit. You wouldn't want to be the old man out in the street. Touch my family and I'll kill you.
Edie, how are you feeling right now? What are you feeling?
That it's really difficult to be around people because they just want me to be better.
So you're not able to share what you're feeling with other people.
Do you have family?
My wife and my daughter were killed in a car accident.
You ever get lonely out here?
I know I'd be more lonely there than here.
Our product will be the first truly non-addictive painkiller.
What the hell is going on?
All the addiction centers are lighting up. And then by day 10, they're dead.
You know him, didn't you? Then you had that one little feeling.
but you waved it away. You should have listened to that one little feeling. Just like I'm listening to you now. You can talk to me. I'm all the friend you got.
Sounds like work.
No, tell them I'm in my chair.
Yes, he's just walked in.
This is unexpected. I can't believe I'm actually having lunch with spies. I'm just a salesman.
Exactly. You're civilians the KGB won't be watching.
It would be a real service to Great Britain.
What do you want me to do?
There will be time for tears and remembrance.
No, there's urgent work to be done.
What work?
I must find and bring to justice the men who killed your mother and my wife.
Why did you leave the house on the night of your wife's death?
For a walk.
You're late.
You know, certainly the year 2021 was not humorous in a lot of ways. But that didn't stop there from being a whole lot of comedies that were worthwhile. You know, the first one I took a lot of heat over, saying that I really enjoyed this one. But it was Vacation Friends with John Cena in this. I just laughed my butt off on this movie. I thought it was, it wasn't, it's not going to cause lines to form outside the theater for, 3 blocks long. But it was just a funny movie, and especially if you're watching it in the privacy of your own home, I think you'll get a lot of laughs off of this. There was an independent movie called Marathon. Oh my God, was this thing the satire of the year or what? I mean, you take all the characters that you can think of in your head that kind of make society tilt, they're in this movie, and especially if you know someone who is a runner and must tell you every 30 seconds that they are a runner, you're going to like this movie a lot. It's called Marathon, and it was funny. The other comedy actually comes from England, and wow, it's called Stealing Chaplin, and it that's what they actually try to do, steal the body of Charlie Chaplin and hold it for ransom. This movie had me in stitches. It has not only your double entendres and your wordplay, but it had a lot of slapstick comedy in it as well. And it's funny. And speaking of slapstick comedy, how about Nicolas Cage in Willy's Wonderland? He was panned so bad for Willy's Wonderland. He came out with a movie called Pig afterwards, and the critics went bonkers over Pig. Pig sucked. I would not sit through Pig again if you paid me. But Willy's Wonderland, I've seen 3 times already. He has no dialogue in the movie, and it's just funny as hell when these animatrons come to Willy's Wonderland. It's worth and there used to be a time when they called comedy sophisticated, okay? And that certainly is the case with Blithe Spirit. That's a very traditional, no coward comedy, and oh my God, it's funny. I've seen it twice already, and it's absolutely delicious. I think you'll enjoy it. Here is a look at the best comedies of 2021.
Excuse me, this is a private event.
Oh, it's cool. We know the bride and groom. We met these 2 animals down in Mexico.
Why does the salt not taste salty?
Oh, because it's cocaine.
What? We actually brought it from home. Very, very easy if you ever want to try it. It's just a Ziploc and a full shampoo bottle.
Has anyone ever been seriously injured at Devil's Canyon Marathon?
Are we still off the record?
No.
Oh, Mama.
Jenna! You're not getting a shirt! They're for race finishers!
Nope.
You boys don't get this money pronto, then I guarantee you'll both be digging a grave before the week is out.
Charlie Chaplin is buried right here in Vegas. We could dig him up and sell his body. Sell it to who? Highest bidder. He was worth a fortune.
He's gonna die in here, but he won't listen to me.
I'd like you to conduct a seance at my home.
This Thursday, the moon is full and we must harness its power.
Perfect.
But Benemicati's a fraud. You said so yourself.
It'll be superb inspiration for my new screenplay.
Is anybody there?
Westerns. There were enough Westerns released last year that they actually deserve their own category. Let me give you three of the best. Old Henry, it probably stands out the best. This was with Tim Blake Nelson, and there were some talks of him getting Best Actor award for this. I think they've kind of squeezed him out of it by now, but he certainly deserves it. This is a fun movie. It really is very engrossing, and I think you'll enjoy it a lot. Right behind it is a Western called Death Alley, and it was an independent movie, so there's no big stars in it, but it's definitely worthwhile. And the third one I want to throw in here is News of the World. This falls in the same category as The Little Things. It actually counted and was released in 2020 for awards consideration, but we didn't get it here in Pittsburgh until the end of the first quarter, and as a result, it's a Western, Tom Hanks, and I think you'll enjoy it. Here are a look at the best Westerns of the year.
You know I saw what's in the back of that closet.
I've done things I wish I could take back. I best go look for the rider.
Is he alive?
Barely.
What do you think happened? Some kind of shootout?
Stay here and keep an eye on him. The U.S. Marshals assigned to the Indian Territories spent months away from their families. Frontier life often took a toll on young mothers. After 2 years raising their 5 children alone, Isabel Gray was no exception. Marshal Henry Thomas, known only by his nickname Heck, chose not to chase after them. Instead of succumb to the melancholy, Marshal Thomas committed himself to his work.
Captain, you, Johanna. I do not have a clue as to the care of a child. It's a photograph. That's my wife.
Let's delve into the world of sci-fi. You know what? Let's do something a little bit different for sci-fi. I'm going to show you the montage first.
What happened to her? The body has decomposed.
How quickly can that happen?
7 years.
But she just died.
Wait, where are the kids?
Trent!
Kara!
Come here!
Hey, have you seen my children?
Mom? I'm right here.
Dad, why are you looking at me like that?
Welcome to the zone.
You helped me find Melissa. So you're a friend of hers, right?
I don't need any more trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Okay.
Someone wants to kill me.
This world, this paradise, this perfect place, this panel above pain, this plane of permission, this tangle life is harder to understand every next moment than it is every this. Never the same, breath to breath. Whole skyscrapers funneled away only to be replaced when you turn back around. Election is the warp and woof. National, city, school, homeowners elections. Elections held metronomically, automatically. Your wish and whim uploaded in real time. A universe rebuilt on choice.
Okay, now you probably didn't recognize an awful lot of those, so let me tell you what you were looking at. Old was an M. Night Shyamalan. It was released without any fanfare whatsoever. You didn't see any TV ads or anything. It was, they wanted to put it out. None of the theaters were really opened at the time, and as a result, it just kind of very quietly was tossed out there. Really worthwhile. I happen to be a Night fan, so I might have been a little prejudiced in my accounting on this, but usually I'll call him when he puts in a dud. This one was not a dud. I enjoyed this one. an awful lot. Zone 414 with Guy Pearce. Boy, this caught me off guard. This was a little independent movie that they threw out there, and they were lucky enough to get Guy to do the lead role, and I was surprised how well it was pulled off. Futuristic tale and shot very interestingly, almost like a toss between the Underworld series and the what's the big Mad Max type thing, and they kind of mix those two light palettes together. It comes out very good. The Tangle is the one I'm sure most of you are not familiar with. This was a true independent movie, but my God, what a great story. And I'm actually surprised that a bigger studio hasn't picked this up to run with it. It is an amazing tale, and if you're into sci-fi, I think you're going to like that. The one category that I really enjoy a lot is action, because in an action movie you can do things that you can't do in real life. You like to think you can, but you can't. Shockwave 2 is probably one of the best action films I have seen in years. My God, was this movie good. First 10 minutes set up the plot, and then it was just like, whoa. It was a roller coaster, and you could not get off of this thing. Absolutely excellent. The Retaliators was a more slower-paced action film, but the action kept up, and the story behind it was pretty decent. American Night is a movie that I think had a good story, and the action was peppered through it like a fine seasoning and worthwhile. You had Gerard Butler and Frank Grillo in Cop Shop. Boy, these two played off each other exceptionally well. The movie did get a little bit of notoriety because on the streaming services it caught on and became #1 on the streaming services. It is worthwhile. Donnie Yen was back in form. Donnie Yen was with Nicholas Say in Raging Fire. Excellent action movie. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, we gave that movie away on the show. So there's a lot of you, 15 of you right now, that have a copy of Donnie Yen's Raging Fire, and you are welcome for that. We have more giveaways coming. And finally, Skyfire was the story about the volcano. It was a Simon West film, and he had gone over to China to make it to Hong Kong. Excellent. And we had an exclusive interview with Simon West on this show where he explained everything. Here is a look at the best action films of the year.
死咗18個人嘅爆炸案，而家係通緝犯身上有槍。
其實你係 CTRU 嘅卧底，我係你嘅 handler。
Can't turn back after crossing this line.
Tell me the truth, John. Those men were there for you.
You're gonna have to trust me. I got a plan.
It's time. I'll give him a nice welcome.
Cool.
Anthony Lamb.
I'm going by the more friendly and less formal Tonys these days.
Clear off my contract.
No can do. This contract is free fire, as there are competing parties for one Theodore Moretto. Bob, are we going to duel to the death?
一定出錯，
更有信心。
天地无常，自然无情，不为尧存，不为桀亡。
All right, let's get into the category everyone's been waiting for. Best horror films. I'm going to tell you right off the bat that only one majorly produced movie made this list, and that is The Unholy. Very good movie with very strong, heavy religious themes to it. Excellent scare fest. The other three on the list are independent films. And once again, folks, I've got to tell you that these movies really came to the forefront because a lot of the big studio productions were shut down over the virus. So wrong place, wrong time. You know, I had a hard time with this because I wasn't sure whether to put it in the action genre or the horror genre, but the fact that you're dealing with a type of vampire, okay, I decided to put it into horror. It moves, a lot of action, good stuff. Dawn of the Beasts is like what they call a jumbat. Okay? It's like when you have a little bit of everything left over and you throw everything into one pot, you think of all the creatures that have been very popular in films lately. I'm talking, Bigfoot and the Wendigo and zombie. Anything you can think of that was, put them all in one big, and that's what you have in Dawn of the Beasts. And for a very cerebral horror tale, The Vigil was it's creepy, folks. I mean, watch this one in the dark with all the lights out, and it's creepy. Here's a look at your best horror films.
Listen, I have a story for you. Something the Examiner will love. A healing, possibly divine.
A girl performing miracles after a visitation from the Virgin Mary. Chicago, New York, D.C., every demographic on this planet is eating this up. Give me the exclusive.
So what class is this for, anyway?
It's called cryptozoology. We study mythical folklore animals.
Today is about exploring the territory. Anything that sheds light on the existence of Bigfoot.
There's an unspeakable evil living out in those woods. And you better hope it doesn't sense your presence. Because if it knows you're there, they'll be coming for you.
If anyone doesn't want to accept the risks, take your shares up to the collective. We're talking 1 billion.
What's the catch?
We have to do this tomorrow night.
Finn of show. Jeg gaat aan de show met doen, naar.
He needs to leave now.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the best movies of 2021. You'll notice a lot of them, like I said, are independents, but you will not regret spending your hard-earned entertainment dollars to watch any of them. They are all good. Now, when you go and finally they put the award shows on, you're going to get your best director, your best actor, actress, song, all that gobbledygook, the little individual awards that they'll list down there. Those awards have become kind of a sham over the last few years because they seem to be, and this is all groups, they seem to be awarding them not so much on talent, but how many boxes they can check. In fact, the materials that I'm receiving at home promoting these award shows are saying, we have so many from column A, so many from column B, so many from column C. We are quite diverse and we will be the best. These are the movies you want to watch, okay? They're the ones worth paying for. They'll entertain you heartily. Hey, there's a trend coming on toward the end of 2021, and that was that the virus had started to seep into the themes of a lot of different movies. And there seems to be a general mien of being a little bit tired of it and wanting to be over it. I think you're going to see that theme permeate through 2022 an awful lot. And I think the strong showing of the independents in 21 is really going to spur some of the bigger studios to not have such a knee-jerk reaction to whatever variant of the virus is currently out. And you're going to see a lot more movies that are going to come out. And who knows, we might even see the theaters open to large crowds again. One can only hope, I guess, right? Now that you have learned what you have learned, here endeth your lesson.